Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my third project for Kitaholic Kits for the month of October, and I'm doing a 12 by 12 layout. Now, I really wanted to document these photos from Father's Day, but the colors didn't exactly match the colors that we got in this kit, and so I thought I'm going to, sorry about the blurriness there, I'm going to do some ink blending, which I've really been loving lately, and I'm going to create my own backing paper. I was also inspired by the Nuvo drops, the crystal Nuvo drops that we got in the mixed media add-on this month, because I so I basically found the distress oxides that were in a matching color from those Nuvo drops, and this kind of inspired the whole layout. Then I decided I'm going to use the stamp set from Paige Evans that we got in the kit, and it just kind of flowed from there. So what I'm doing here is I'm basically inking an entire 12 by 12 piece of cardstock, and this is a basil marshmallow cardstock, I believe. And as you can see there, I am just going back and forth. The first half that I do here, I was still kind of getting used to it, and so I wasn't doing such a good job. But by the time I do the other half, which is the half I'm going to keep to layer behind my photos, that I do a better job with. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use half of this 12 by 12 piece of paper, and I'm going to turn that into, I'm going to do some stamping on that because I really wanted to use those stamps. And so I'm just taking this, I don't even know what this is. This is like a stamping pad. It is a Misty knockoff. And the reason why I'm using this is because I didn't want to, because I couldn't see the stamping, so I wanted to make sure I got proper coverage, because I'm going to do some embossing. I'm really going all out with the mixed media and the like crazy techniques this month, so enjoy that. So I am going to change it up between doing white embossing and gold embossing, and I really, really, really like how that looks. Now, I should say the page was very staticky because of that ink blending, and so in just a second here, once I set this heat embossing, I am going to take my little powder tool and I'm just going to take the staticky inkiness off. Oh, is that even on camera? Huh? Yep, there it is. Knew I was going to do it. And that just makes it not so sticky. It means that the embossing powder doesn't stick onto my paper. So yes, that is done. I'm going to continue stamping. I'm going to use that same pattern basically the whole way down. And what I actually like about this one versus the Misty in terms of like the stamping is that there's not like an inset, so the paper can actually lay over the top of the stamping pad, if that makes any sort of sense. And this is where I'm going to do the gold embossing, and I actually can't tell which one I like more. Do I like the gold or do I like the white? Sorry about that, Justin came in and I'm actually not sure what I was saying. Anyway, I'm just going to continue stamping and heat embossing. And does anyone else get it where they feel like their stamping just takes me back to being like a teenager? Because I did a lot of stamping and heat embossing on cards when I was a teenager, and it just takes me back. Just seeing that embossing powder melt into the paper, it just made me feel like I was a kid again, and I just get really nostalgic about it. I'm just stamping these by hand, just filling up those empty little spaces, and then I'm going to fussy cut them all out. So this is where I get into the actual layout. I am taking that entire strip of 6 by 12 inch paper, and I'm double adhering that to the backing paper, which is just textured cardstock. And full disclosure, I laid out this entire layout and played around with it a bit before I started doing the sticking down, and I took a photo of it, which is just off the side. Every now and then you might actually see me lean over to look at the layout that I had created, because I didn't want to do more ink blending and more stamping, so I didn't want to accidentally waste the ink blending and the stamping. And so I wanted to make sure that when it sticks down, I'm not going to move it. So yes, that's all sorted and all done. What I wanted to do as well is, because I felt the white was very white compared to the very, very, very bright rainbow colors there. And so I'm just going in with that same oxides, and in the same colors, I am just doing a little border. I started off putting the stamping pad directly on the paper, And then I realized like I can just use the like little foam. Oh my goodness, I completely blanked on what those things are called. You know what I mean. I can use those things just to put it straight onto the paper, and then I didn't have to put the ink pad directly on because they're less spongy, and so that doesn't look as good. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent, but sorry if you can hear my doggy drinking water in the background. She's very thirsty because it's a very hot day here. Now, because this is quite a thick cardstock, and because of all that ink blending, I am really making sure that those photos are going to stick. And so I'm adding tape runner and I'm adding glue, and then I am going to start sticking on the flowers. Now, like I said, I'd pre-planned this all out, so I knew exactly where I wanted these photos to go. And so this is actually a tip for you. Like, an actual layer comes together very quickly once you have kind of decided where everything has already gone. And you can make changes, and I did make changes, but generally it made me feel so much more at ease when I started sticking all these beautiful fussy cut flowers down. So that is done, and then I'm going to add my title. I'm going to add this celebrate, and then I think family is going to be the other title. And I do fiddle around with this, and I come in with my T-square ruler just to line it all up. And yeah, I really like how that looks. This gold is so beautiful. It's not like too yellow, and it's just like a beautiful, subtle gold. Anyway, I am going to add my journaling underneath this little title that I've built. I don't have much to say. It was Father's Day. We took some really nice family photos, and I want to talk about how lucky we are to have such amazing dads in our lives. Now, I know my brother is in that photo, and he's technically not a dad, but I still love him, and he's still a good role model for Emma. So, of course, I wanted to celebrate him as well. Adding some tiny word phrases from the sticker sheet just down the bottom there. And really what I want you to take away from this layout is that if you get a kit in the mail and you get products in a kit and in a subscription, then you don't have to just work with the kit. Like, I mean, you have to work with the kit, obviously, but you make the kit work for you. And that is what I did here. I took elements of the kit that matched my photos. I was inspired by elements of the kit, like, for example, those drops that I'm putting on right now. And I took what I needed and created my own mixed media background to match the rest. And so this is probably, oh, there's my daughter waving. This is probably one of my favorite layouts that I've ever done, because those colors, first of all, I just love them. This is just the colors of my life. And also because I made it my own. And yeah, anyway, that is basically done. I added my little stars to bring in some more of that gold. Added the drops. I'm going to add the date now, and then this layout will be done. Thank you very much for joining me for this chatty video, and I will see you all again next week for my final design team project for Kitaholic Kits for the month of October. Bye!